All right, ready or not, here we go. My name is Jeff Sailing. I'm the one of the co-founders and the executive director at StartUpNV, and we're super proud of our AngelNV program, which you're in the middle of tonight. So I'm going to chat a little bit about our program and about the activities for the evening, and then we'll get going. We have 5 programs for three for founders and 2 for angel investors. Our main program that's been around the longest is our Accelerator program. It's evolved to the point where we work with 10 scalable startups at a time over a 9-month period. And the main focus of that Accelerator program is to get funding for the companies that are in it. The other program that we have is we call it our VoIP program, our virtual online incubator program. And it's for all Nevada startups. There's not a time or a company count or an MVP limit. Anybody can apply for that program and work their way through it. Our third program is a funding program for the companies that are in the Accelerator program. It's called FundNV, and it provides $50,000 of funding for the companies that are in the Accelerator program. And the funding comes about 120 days into the program after the companies in the program have demonstrated that they're doing all the things that we thought they would do. And then the program that you're in is a 2-sided program. Its original goal was to create more angel investors in our communities in Nevada, primarily aimed at Las Vegas and Reno. We all live here, so we know why that's important. And the way that we do that is we go out into the community and we find 40 accredited investors who are curious about being angel investors. And we train them for 11 weeks on how to be a good angel investor, how to find deals, how to value companies, how to do due diligence, all the things that angels need to know. And at the end of those 11 weeks, those investors, 40 of them, have each contributed $5,000 into a fund. So they have a $200,000 fund, and they decide as a group to invest that money in one company. How they get the companies to consider for investment is this founder boot camp. The companies that participate in the boot camp are here mainly to learn. So what do angels want? How do I attract an angel investor? And we spend 12 weeks talking to founders about how that process works. And at the end of which, coming up soon, the folks in the boot camp and others can apply to those angels to get to win that $200,000 investment. So that's the guts of the program. And we're just past the middle point of the founder boot camp now. We have 2 additional sessions left. And the overall program and kind of the way it fits together is that VoIP program that I talked about kind of concentrates on the early stages of the startup founding, from idea through the beta, creating a beta product. The Accelerator program kind of picks up at that point. There's a little bit of overlap right around the beta phase of the startup, where the Accelerator program picks up and takes the companies through revenue generation, which is the best place to apply for funding. And that's where we typically fund them from FundNV. So you can see kind of how our 3 programs fit together. And then the AngelNV program that you're in kind of overrides all of that, right? It's a program that's open to anybody at any stage who wants to learn about how to attract angel investing and then apply for angel investing. So we've been around for 3 years, since 2017. I guess it's coming up on 3.5 years now. We've had 452 companies pitch to get into the Accelerator program. 48 of them have gotten in and have worked with us. There are 18 of the 48 have raised $68 million in money over the course of the 3 years. And that's awesome, except that less than 1% of that money, I think it's actually less than 0.5% of that money, has come from Nevada investors, which is the whole point of why we started the AngelNV program, is to create more Nevada investors so that when those companies succeed, not only do the founders and the employees of those companies make a lot of money, but the investors do as well. And that's great for our Nevada startup ecosystem. So the layout of the AngelNV program that supports all of that is we started our program here in September, and we're wrapping it up in December. And then the Angel Bootcamp program starts just after the first of the year in January. And it ends with that investment that I talked about, the $200,000 investment, currently scheduled for March 25th, 2021. And COVID willing, everything will stay on schedule. We won't have any delays, and we'll actually be able to pull the program off on the timeline that we intend. So far, so good. It's getting a little tight now, but hopefully we'll be able to maintain the schedule and we won't have to push it back at all. So the next couple of sessions are the pitch practice session that you're in tonight. So if you, I think we have about 10, 15 companies that have signed up to pitch tonight. If you want to sign up to pitch, I'm going to ask Maggie maybe to drop the link in the chat so that you can put your name on the list of companies to pitch tonight. We're gonna start kind of in the middle of the list, work our way to the bottom, and then come back to the top of the list and work on down until everybody's had a chance to make a 1-minute pitch. On December 1st, we're gonna have our final content session. Josh Geffen's gonna talk about deal terms, cap tables, preparing for due diligence. What's this crazy language we speak in around, safes and convertible notes and seed funds and all of the other things that you need to understand as a founder, especially around preferred stock. On December 8th, we're going to have sort of office hours or an open session for completing your application if you haven't done so already. It's not too difficult. The application is a little intense, but it's not too difficult. But if you do have questions, ask them along the way. Send us emails or ask us along the way. But we're going to have one session on December 8th to answer any open questions, an open session to answer any questions that people have about completing their application. The link is right there. I'm sure you can memorize that and pop it into your browser. It's also going to be in the chat window, and it's in a number of places on the AngelNV website where you can click to apply through Gust for the $200,000. Now, up till last week, when we were sure that we were going to have a live event, our price was $149 for the application. Now that we're not sure that we're actually going to be able to do a live event, we've reduced the price on the application to $49, and it's $29 through the end of November. So get those applications in between now and the end of November, and it's only 29 bucks. And the person who comes out on top tonight, the person who wins this or who's voted the best of the people pitching tonight, will get that $29 application fee waived, and you'll be allowed to do that for free. So a couple other things before we get started. You can catch up on any of the prior sessions via on our YouTube channel at StartUpNV. There's a playlist out there called AngelNV Founder Bootcamp, and it has all of our sessions going all the way back to the first one, where we talked about storytelling, and it's actually how to do one of these 1-minute pitches. So if you haven't seen all the sessions, I suggest you look it up on YouTube and look at that playlist, and there's probably 12 or 15 hours worth of information out there. So good luck on getting out there and listening to it if you haven't seen it already. The funding application, the applications for AngelNV are now open on Gust, so follow that link. The way it'll work is first, if you don't have an account, you'll set one up on Gust. And then there's about 12 sections of the application that you need to fill out, everything from the most basic information to the information about where you are with your startup right now. You don't have to make that $29 payment if you get there before the end of the month, or the $49 payment if you don't make it till next month, until the very end. So once you go to submit all the work, then that's when the little button will pop up to make the payment. So you don't have to worry about making that payment while you're putting your application in. And then what happens after you make the application and we actually get into the angel piece is the first job that the angels will have after they go through a basic education is to narrow the field down to the top 12 from however many companies apply. And then those top 12 will make 5-minute pitches. And then they'll be narrowed down to 6. And then those six finalists will go through due diligence and ultimately make a 10-minute pitch at the end of the process. So these pitches that we're doing in pitch practice, the 1-minute pitches and the 3-minute pitches, are in preparation for that. And the 1-minute pitches are really aimed at honing your storytelling ability, the ability to do, some people call them an elevator pitch. And the whole intent of it is to make people curious, to make people lean in and want to know more. You shouldn't try to cram everything into that 1-minute pitch. And if you're still struggling after tonight, on how to do a good 1-minute pitch, I'll suggest that you go back and listen to that video on storytelling, where Greg gives you the recipe on how to do an effective story, which you can fit into 60 seconds or less. The 3-minute pitches are just a taste more. So with tonight, though, if you do get to do a 3-minute pitch, you'll have the opportunity to use slides, which is important, and you'll get to share a bit more detail. But again, the main idea with a 3-minute pitch is to get the next meeting, to tell your story, maybe provide a bit more detail on your market and your business, and a little bit of the financial picture. But the main idea is to get curiosity from the listener so that they'll want to invite you back and give you more time to explain in more detail about your startup. So whoever comes out on top tonight is going to get a free application. So you'll get a free pass through the $29 hurdle to get in. And the logistics for tonight are going to work like this. Once I'm done with these slides, I'm going to share you'll see me sharing my screen. It'll be, instead of one slide, you'll see 2 screens, or 2 sections of the screen. On one half of the screen will be a timer. On the other half of the screen will be a list of people who have asked to pitch tonight. Dr. Monica is going to start us off tonight, and we're going to work from her downward,
then back up again.
Then we're going to go back to the top of the list. For some reason, Dr. Monica, you ended up in the middle of the list. So we're going to just start with you. We're going to work down to the end, and then go back to the top.
If you change the screen and we can see the list, that would be helpful.
Okay, well, that's more complicated than it seems like it should be. So I'm going to leave this up for now till we're through it.
Okay.
And the way that it'll work is, as it's your turn to pitch, Maggie's gonna.
New feature. I can allow them to talk while they're still in the attendance.
Oh, okay. So Maggie is going to turn on your microphone effectively, and she'll call on you so that you know it's your turn to pitch. And then once we hear you start to talk, we will start the timer and count you down to a minute. And then once you get to a minute, Maggie's going to mute you. And then we're going to move right on to the next person. So 10, 15.
Monica, the first person, gets feedback immediately, right, so that she can work on her pitch while the others are doing theirs.
I would have gotten there, but okay. So Monica, what's going to happen is, after you do your pitch, I'm going to pick on you a little bit, and maybe some of our other judges might pick on you a little bit, and that'll be a good feedback for you, and a good example for the folks that are going to come behind you. Then we're going to go one by one, no feedback in between, through to the last person who's pitching. And then Monica, you'll get to pitch again at the end to take some of that feedback in and pitch again. So, and then we'll vote. There'll be a voting poll put up. Maggie will put a voting poll up through the chat.
Misty will.
Or Misty will. And then we'll all vote, and we'll pick the top 3. The judges will pick 2 of the 3. The audience will pick the 3rd. And then we'll have 3-minute pitches from those three folks. And then the judges will pick a winner from that. And the people who pitch for 3 minutes will get somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes worth of feedback, depending on which of the panelists want to speak up and what kind of feedback we have for you. The panelists, you can see in the gallery view tonight, we've got Misty and Judy from AngelGen, and then our group from AngelNV, Nick, Bill, Maggie, Deirdre, and Raj. So thanks to all of our panelists for coming out tonight, and we will be hearing from them as we move through the process. I do want to thank our sponsors, the folks who've either provided goods or money to help us put this conference on. Assure is providing all the back-end Angel legal and financial work so that the Angel Fund can be formed. Carta is helping out with cap tables and providing some other resources for us to be able to pay for the conference. Same with Silicon Valley Bank, who is the account that the fund is formed in. Arsentia was one of our presenters in the early days, and they have a great tool for creating an investor summary. City of Las Vegas and SBDC have given great support, as well as our community partners, the Latin Chamber, the Urban Chamber, the LVGEA, and SCORE of Las Vegas. So thanks to our community partners for helping us put this on. I think you guys probably know all of our contact information, but if you don't, there it is. So now I'm going to stop sharing. I'm actually not going to stop sharing. I'm going to minimize the slides. And this was the two-sided screen that we were talking about. So we're going to start with Dr. Monica, and then we're going to move on to Marta, Manny, David, Ali, and then start right back at the top. If there are any people out here that want to pitch that aren't already on the list, did that link go out in the chat?
I put it in 2 different ways.
Okay, so if you are on the call and you do want to pitch and you didn't get in ahead of time, just click that link and sign up, and your name will appear right at the top of the list. And we'll eventually get back to you. And anybody who we don't get to, who gets their name in while everybody's pitching, we will get to you at the end. And then Dr. Monica, when you're just get yourself ready, because we're going to start this in just a few minutes, and we will hear from you, and then Marta after Monica, and so on and so forth. So are we ready?
Hear me?
I do hear you.
Oh,
Excellent.
Great, thank you.
Right. So we have successfully put Dr. Monica into queue to pitch. So Monica, whenever you're ready, go ahead and start with your 1 minute. As soon as I hear you start talking, I will hit the timer.
Good evening, everyone. Did you know that pandemic fatigue syndrome is the new PTSD? And if you're one of the 39 million of us experiencing cognitive dysfunction and PFS blues, you are not alone. Good evening, I'm Dr. Monica Riley, Doctor of Integrative Medicine and founder of Dr. Monica's Natural Beauty. And we are seeking $150,000 to create our app, the Pandemic Fatigue Panacea, designed to combat PFS with tangible, holistic essentials for frustrated humans. Thank you for your consideration.
Okay.
That was quick.
That was quick. All right. So I look for a few things, and Misty, this is going to sound familiar to you. When I'm listening to these 1 minute pitches, I'm listening for what your technical solution is, or your solution period, what the market opportunity is that you have, what your business model is, who your team is, and what the investment opportunity is. And Monica, you spent a lot of time talking about the problem, what it is that you were trying to solve, but you didn't spend a lot of time talking about what your solution was for that problem. And you didn't talk to us about what the market opportunity is. And I think you may think it's obvious. God, it's all around us. Come on, it's COVID, right? But investors still want to hear about TAM, SAM, and SOM, how many users there are likely to use this app that you're proposing that we get built, and how you're going to make money from that. What's the business model? How is that going to be used? The team you covered, I mean, you've got great credentials, and oftentimes the team at first is just the founder. But if you do have more folks on your team, it's good to hear about them. And what the investment opportunity is. You did ask for $100,000, but we didn't understand really what you were going to use it for, or other than building an app, and kind of where the business was going to grow. So I think when you come back, you didn't use nearly all your time. You only used 40 seconds of 60. So you do have some more time to cover some of those other topics. So I think when it's time to come back at the end, maybe cover a couple of more of those topics. And if you haven't done the research to know how big the market is, then that's a to-do that you should be marking down on your list to do, and be able to present that as part of your pitch going forward, just knowing that there's, whatever the number is, 5 million people, 100,000 people in Las Vegas, whatever it is that's the market you're going to go after, sort of ultimately, and then at first. It's good to hear that in your pitch.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks for volunteering to go first and we keep trying to find a better term for this than the guinea pig. So if anybody has any suggestions.
Came up with a beta.
The beta pitcher. There you go. It's probably better than a guinea pig.
Judy,
yeah, that sounds good. The beta.
So Judy, if you have any comments to share, you'll have to unmute to share them, or whether we should just continue.
She's unmuted. She's good.
Yeah, thank you. No, Jeff, you hit everything on the the nail on the head. So I'm not going to add to that. But good job, Monica. It's hard to go first.
Yes.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right, Marta, you are next.
She just sat down.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
And is that Marta?
Yeah. Well, it's Lindsay.
Lindsay.
I think it's Lindsay.
2 weeks ago, I'm her co-founder.
Yeah, I know. No.
Hey guys.
Hey. No, I knew that was Lindsay.
Too little for me.
I don't have blonde hair now. Yeah, my hair used to be dark.
Okay. All right, Lindsay, whenever you're ready, please begin. I'm sorry, Marta. You're also really tiny on my screen. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
It's very hard to see you.
So I'm hoping you guys can see our background. This is the best we can do. My name is Marta, and my co-founder Lindsay and I founded Safe Harbor in 2018 to protect and digitally track regulated products. In our combined decade plus of experience in the cannabis industry, we noticed that operators are routinely risking safety, liability, and now with COVID, consumer and employee health and safety, all in the process of distributing and selling essential meds. Our patent pending IoT lockers process safe, contactless pickup of pre-ordered product, like Amazon Prime lockers you see outside Whole Foods, adapted for cannabis-specific state regulations. So the dispensaries as an upfront hardware sale coupled with software subscription as recurring revenue. Clients increase their margins to reduce employee costs and boosted sales volume, so the lockers pay for themselves in 3 months. We own all of our IP. Our hardware suite has outside sector application for valuable goods like ammunition, jewelry, pharmaceuticals, and cash. And cannabis is an $8 billion opportunity in the US in 2020. We captured $1.6 million in revenue in our first year. Thank you.
Good
Put that
timing.
with 1 second left to go.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good job. And I think if you do get the pitch again, if there's a way to get closer to the mic, that would be helpful. At least we were struggling to hear it. I don't know whether anybody else was. So, well, she looks like you're testing again, but Maggie has muted you now. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Manny's up next.
Manny, are you ready?
Change is inevitable. Hi, I'm Manny Garcia with Sherman Industries. We can't stop change, but we can reduce some uncertainty and expense. I invented and patented the self-retaining data receptacle. My receptacles reduce labor by 2/3, make the job easy enough that most anybody can do it, and allow for future changes to be simple. I hold patents and trademarks in the US, Canada, Japan, Taiwan, and China. I'm UL listed in the US and Canada. The current available US market is 10 million, and this product creates 2 additional markets. The product is ready for production and arrives at a cost of $2 each. We will control the distribution and sell to electrical wholesalers at $6.50 each. I've been drawing a lot of industry attention over the last 3 weeks. One group has taken notice and discussing a first round to deliver the product to the US. We're looking for a second round of $500,000 to set up our warehouse and distribution center in Las Vegas.
Thanks, Manny. I didn't quite hit your the timer at the right time for you, so I think you were right at about a minute.
I believe that's where I should be at with the video and everything.
Great.
Okay. So David Lifschultz is up next.
All right, David. So Manny stopped. Bring David in.
Okay. Good evening. Can you hear me?
We do.
You can.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, David, please begin.
All right. Hello, I am David Lifschultz, inventor of Our Party, an information system that improves the way we handle contact information. Have you ever met someone at a convention here in town or on Zoom and tried to find them on LinkedIn afterwards? Or have you had to look through boxes of business cards to find a card you filed away? Because I know everyone has had these types of problems with the app that comes pre-installed on your phone, I created Our Party. It's an end-to-end contact management solution that keeps all your contacts synchronized, accessible, on any device and backed up to the cloud. So in the future, when you meet an associate, use our party and never worry about losing or having outdated contact information again. I am fundraising to launch this app free to the public for personal use. Organizations will be able to purchase subscriptions with B2C functionality. Again, I'm Dave Lifschultz, and I am looking forward to meeting with potential investors interested in building a fabulous team and a great product.
Perfect on the timing.
Great job.
Okay, so next we have Yvette. Allie's not here. So Yvette, are you here? I don't see Yvette either. Okay, moving on. Let's go to Dawn Ryerson.
I'm here.
Excellent. Welcome, Don.
Good evening.
Whenever you're ready, Don.
I'm ready.
Begin whenever you'd like.
I'm sure you know people don't like to be bored. They don't like to wait. And quite frankly, it's rather difficult in today's world to practice patience. I mean, really, when was the last time you preferred a slow internet connection or a long wait at the grocery store? The long-term effects of boredom are extreme, leading to such things as anxiousness, injury, addiction, loneliness, and in some cases, even death. How we handle ourselves comes at a price, prior to the pandemic, but especially in these times. My name is Dawn, and I'm the founder of a local nonprofit wellness agency. I'm seeking funding to develop and launch a mobile app to overcome stress, anxiety, impatience, and of course, boredom. Think of it as mental health relief in your pocket, but without needing insurance and a therapist or diagnosis. My plan is to market to local governments to fund yearly subscriptions for residents to increase the peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Expecting that thing to beep at me and it did not
It
beep.
doesn't. Okay, Matthew. Matthew, you're up next.
Sorry, I'm charging in the back of the bedroom here. Okay, go for it. All right. What do two tech founders with 30 years combined industry experience eat for dinner? I don't know either, but I've got an app that helps figure it out. Hi, my name is Matthew Brill, founder of Grocery Advisor, a beta web and mobile application that guides your meals from thought to table in one app. Thought to Table answers the what, where, how, and when for food quickly and easily, getting you more to eat for less time and money. Learn about your food, build shareable shopping lists and meal plans, instantly comparison shop nearby grocers, place orders online, and much more. Grocery Advisor is here to help us overworked and tired masses recapture leisure time and help the 69% of Americans with $1,000 or less in savings save a few bucks. Our apps are free to consumers and are monetized by referral fees to grocers and delivery services, inline advertisements, and future white label online grocery platform services. We're seeking a $200,000 seed for a facelift to accelerate development and to break Grocery Advisor into the fast-growing $33 billion online grocery market. Are you ready to join us in our 13-month charge profitability? Thank you.
Awesome, with 4 seconds to spare.
Yeah, I should slow down next time.
Yeah, you should, just because you have, I mean, it's always better to go, at your pace than to try to rush through it.
I didn't have time to practice this time. Think so.
Good job, Matthew. So, Josiah?
Josiah, did you sign in under a company name? If you did, let's see, you're gonna have to send me a text.
A chat or a text?
Well, a chat.
So, Josiah, are you out there?
He signed in, Lockton is his company name. I don't find that. Okay, then we're moving on. Mitchell with Knock, are you here? Okay, not here. Fine. Mark West, you are here.
Oh, we had David in there twice.
Yeah, we did. Go ahead, Mark, whenever you're ready. And anybody else who wants to sign up, we're at the end of our list. So please.
Yeah, we have a whole lot more people that are participating than we have pitching.
Yeah.
So
go ahead and sign up.
So Mark, so go ahead and sign up. Or worst case, just note in the chat that you'd like to pitch, and we'll figure out a way to get you on. So Mark, are you out there?
Yeah, I think I unmuted myself.
Oh, I think you unmuted yourself as well.
All right, very good.
All right, Mark.
Hi, my name is Mark West, creator of InnovaLink, licensing made easy. We've been in the casino and gaming industry for years and have been licensed many times. We know each application can take hours or days to prepare, and most licenses have to be renewed every year or two. One application could be 1,000 pages or more long, and while the information is largely the same from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, each gaming regulator requires its own forms. InnovaLink streamlines the gaming license application and renewals process, reducing the time to create an application from days to minutes. We support 40 gaming jurisdictions today and have tested our solutions with companies that have given us positive feedback and suggestions for enhancements. Our total market size in gaming is $100 million. We need 250,000 so that we can add California, Washington, Oregon, and eventually all 240 gaming jurisdictions in North America by mid-2021. We anticipate revenues of 500,000 in 2021 and 2.5 million in 2022 with at least a 30% margin.
Okay.
Thank you. And thanks for not taking advantage of me for not setting the timer off when you started talking. You didn't really have 47 seconds left.
Okay.
So good job, Mark. Thank you.
So Frontline is going next.
And is Dominique gonna?
Unmuted, can you hear us?
We hear you now.
Yeah,
Is that Ben?
We were going to try and turn on our camera, but no. No camera.
I don't see
You should
video.
be. Yeah, they should. I mean, we've had other people with video, so you should be able to if your camera's functioning.
Yeah, it's just not giving me an option. It's weird. Okay.
Can you give us a minute?
Every once in a while, I see that happen on Zoom where somebody can't turn on the camera. It says like the
host
won't allow you to do it. I assure you that that's not the case, or if that's what we've done, it's been by accident.
Okay.
Because other people have been on video. So
I actually only show a microphone next to you, not the possibility even of a camera.
That is so weird. Okay.
So yeah, for some reason your system is not connecting to the camera, but we're entrepreneurs, so we know how to pivot and work with the situation that we have. So
okay,
go ahead and tell us about Frontline displays.
Okay, good. Well, see, I was going to do a camera. I have a full display behind me showing my product and everything like this. Frontline Displays is the world's first retractable illuminated stanchion. There's nothing like it on the even on the planet. I've been in the sign industry in Las Vegas for 25 years. This product is already patented, and so we're looking for $1.2 million to get this product online, to get it to market. Please come see us at frontlinedisplays.com, and thank you for your time.
Wow, that was only 20 seconds.
I know. I have it. I'm cool with that. I usually show people this product, and if they drop their jaw.
Yeah, I think
like it out there. So
I remember.
Right.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I remember seeing it the last time you pitched.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get it straightened out by the time we get to our 3-minute, eh?
Yes.
Maybe.
You guys want to see it? Pick us.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to hear from Olu. Are you ready? Let me unmute you. Okay.
Yes, can you hear me?
We do.
Perfect. Yes, my name is Olu. If you've ever had the joy of booking a party or any kind of birthday in Vegas in the past, then you quite understand how tedious that can get, especially if you don't live in fabulous Las Vegas itself. My name is Olu Albana. I have about 16 years of marketing and technology experience, especially in the nightlife industry. What I come with is a fix for the tedious issues that most people have when trying to book or take advantage of the Las Vegas nightlife. We've come up with a few domains under an umbrella of a company called Vegas Interactive. Domains such as Vegas Birthdays, Book Vegas, Vegas Planners. These domains are perfect SEO fit for search engine optimization marketing, which happens to be we're the bulk share of where most online travel agencies spend their money. Just last year, Booking.com spent $4.4 billion on search engine optimization. Coming up with Vegas Interactive is a fix in this market because the search engine optimization save that we do, we make back in profit that we give to customers. I see I'm out of time.
Yeah, you were about to get cut off, Olu, so
yeah, no problem.
Glad you were focused on.
Okay, we have Dominique next.
Dominique.
Dominique, when I unmute you, will you tell us the name of your company again so we can get it in the list?
Oh.
We were both unmuting her. Okay.
All right, let's try that again, Dominique.
Okay, yes, also can you hear me?
Yes, and the name of your company is?
Okay, Fevey, Bevey. Okay.
Zezey?
B as in like boy,
and
then Evey.
Bevy, okay.
Yes.
Great. All right, whenever you're ready.
Hello everyone, my name is Dominique and I am here to represent Bevy. During this pandemic, two things that almost everyone has tried to do are gain a new skill or hobby and stay connected to others. But you probably stopped by now. After over 50 customer interviews, we found that a lack of motivation and community were the main answers to why people stopped. And people experience these issues even without a pandemic. So how do you reach more people and find this community? Social media. With a 52 billion total available market, social media is the way of the future. And our product, Bevy, is a productive social media app that pairs you into small study groups with people who have similar schedules and interests to help you accomplish your goals and passions. This small group concept is what makes us unique, and studies have shown that over 70% of people achieve more when they're in a study group. We currently have a high fidelity wireframe and a launch pad. We are currently asking for about $100,000 for app development, turning the website into an actual app, marketing, and cloud storage. Thank you for your time and good.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, I think that is everybody on our list unless Mitchell came in. Did Mitch come in? Okay, I see a lot of people on here. Mike Catania, Michael Peteroy, Larry Turner, and Ben Lamb. Do any of you guys want to pitch?
Right.
Okay, AJ says that she wouldn't mind pitching, but she hasn't made a lot of improvements and doesn't have a 3-minute pitch. But if you are welcome to pitch, AJ.
You just won't get voted through to the next round?
Yeah, you just won't be on the list for voting. Oh, and Mark is asking, okay, AJ, I'll get to you in a second. Mark West is asking about what Jeff said about the feedback. So the first pitcher got feedback, and then all the rest of you guys are going to go, and then we're going to give a lot of general feedback about things without pointing anybody out. And so let's let AJ go, and great, okay. AJ, whenever you're ready.
To the screen. How many people are on
there? Okay, is AJ getting ready to go?
She has to get her deck. Well, actually, you don't need a deck, but she needs her scripts.
Sounds like AJ's got a.
Nope, that was not AJ.
No, that wasn't me. Just give me 1 second. I am.
Somebody's got to help her.
It was Olu.
I know. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna close this up. Thank you, guys.
It sounds like Monica, as soon as AJ's done, we're going to come back to you.
Yeah, so get ready.
Okay.
Good.
Do you guys want to have Monica go while I pull this up just so I'm not holding up the flow?
Monica, if you're ready. No, she said no. Okay. AJ, we'll just wait for you.
Copy that. Thank you. Just one moment, please.
Krista B, did you want to pitch tonight?
Everybody's shy tonight.
Krista B she's willing to give it a go. You did so well the first time. I don't know why you would be shy tonight.
Well, Krista B is pretty shy altogether. It's fun being able to talk about Krista B while she can't actually respond.
And okay, Tanpool, what's your name? I know it's not Tanpool. Rui Tan, okay. Yes, of course you can pitch. Let's add him to the list. Can you do any adding?
Yes, by all means, please let him go.
Oh, okay, Rui, if you're ready, then
where do I put him?
Put him after Dominique. It probably doesn't matter. Okay, and Krista B, you get ready too. We're gonna have Rui go, then Krista B, then AJ, then any other stragglers, and we'll get to Monica last.
Thank you so much.
All right, and so who's
Rui Tan, RUITAN.
And what's the name of the company?
Tanpool.
And then we're gonna have
Krista B. All right, Rui, are you ready? Almost?
So can you hear me?
We do.
anybody other than Rui and Krista B?
Yeah, AJ.
Thought she was not gonna get
Keep going.
AJ. What's AJ's company?
I don't remember.
All right, we'll fill it in when we get there.
Yes. All right, Rui.
So can I get started now?
Yes.
You can.
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Ray from Tempo Inc. Tempo is a mobile app for non-distance casual couple, known as the Airbnb for couples in mid-non-distance trip. Drivers on Tempo is like the host on Airbnb. They can post their trip, then get booked and earn gas money. Passenger on Tempo is like the guest on Airbnb. They can easily book their ride with a cheaper rate. The reason we built this mobile app is because due to the public transportation infrastructure is kind of left behind in United States. And the fact is there are so many people, they need a ride, and there are so many empty seats in the car. And the interstate travel is always such a headache. Since we launched our mobile app August 2020, we have gained more than 1,000 users. And we are growing daily, but we are not growing fast enough.
Okay, Rui, you ran out of time there. So Krista B, are you ready?
Okay, can everyone hear me?
We do.
Right.
Anytime you're ready, Krista B.
So hi there, I'm Christophe Jackson, the founder of Sugar Love, where we create classic confections with a modern twist. What's that modern twist? Our flavors are exciting and challenging, like bourbon pecan or chipotle cashew brittles, which are perfect for customers who miss grandma's touch in the kitchen, and yet who are interested in the growing trends of real ingredients and interesting flavors. We're focusing on millennials to younger boomers. We're building a brand for shelves to your mid to high-end range grocery stores to celebrate nostalgia while exploring the trends of today. The specialty food market has grown 8% in the last 2 to 3 years. And actually in the second quarter of 2020, it's actually grown 15% with people staying inside and looking for interesting ways to expand their flavor profiles. If you look at competing sections like chocolate bars or cookies, you'll see dozens of brands, both new and old, that have a different value proposition. In the category of hard candy, you'll see almost only brands that have been around for decades, and their only proposition is their classic recipe.
Christophe, you went a little over. Okay. All right, now AJ, how are things coming along for you?
Well, you know, I love the fact that I can't find my pitch deck. So I'm having a moment right now, if to be honest. So yeah.
Okay. Let's send out the general call again. Is there anybody else in our group who would like to pitch that hasn't already done so? Chip, do you want to pitch? I know 1 minute is hard.
Okay, where do we stand? So AJ is not pitching.
I think AJ can't do it. So
Are we done?
I think we're done. We're going to go back to Monica. Give her her second chance. Are you ready, Monica?
I'm ready. Can you hear me?
We hear you fine.
Okay, great. Did you know that pandemic fatigue syndrome is the new PTSD? And like the 39 million of us who are trying to thrive just to stay alive, if you're not sleeping, eating, or thinking right, then you need our pandemic fatigue panacea app, the complete mobile app combating PFS with tangible, holistic essentials for frustrated humans. I am Dr. Monica Riley, Doctor of Integrative Medicine with over 30 years of expertise in holistic therapies. And we are seeing now that the Harvard University School of Medicine has just released a report that by spring 2021, 1 out of 2 human beings will experience, did I lose time?
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, a 51% loss of cognitive abilities due to COVID-19. We are seeking $150,000 to create a mobile app, the Pandemic Fatigue Panacea, that will feature free subscription and will provide daily affirmations, breathing exercises to enhance lung function, and a featured daily interactive.
Now you ran out of time. The other noise that you heard was somebody leaving. And I'm sorry that sound disturbed.
Right, but I paused for 3, 4, 5 seconds to give you a little boost there, a little at the end there to account for that interruption. But so since we're at the end, I'm going to start with, and our other panelists are going to jump in and give some general comments on the group, and then we'll. When do we start the voting? Do we start it now while we're giving general comments?
No, because I'm going to fill out the form now.
Okay. So we'll give some general comments, and then we'll have a chance for everybody to vote for who thinks they ought to be, going through to the top 3. So my general comments are, so Monica, you did, even though you ran out of time, you did better the second time around. You ticked off a few more of the 5 things. You talked a bit more about your market opportunity. You got to spend a little time on your business model. You didn't spend enough time there. And I think you fell into the trap that I'm going to talk generally about a lot of founders do, and that's talking about the solution, your idea, much more than like the business that you're creating from this opportunity that's out there. So talking about what the market opportunity is, how the business model works, and a little bit about your solution are important. And I heard, especially with the folks who ran out of time, a lot more talking about the details of their proposal, of their proposed solution, rather than the overall business that they were in. So some of you did a better job than others in talking about that, but it's a very common problem with folks who haven't done a lot of pitching is talking too much about the problem and solution and not enough time about the market opportunity, the business model, and how these investors are going to make their money back. So at least painting a little picture of that in the 1 minute that you have. And again, I'll suggest that if you did run out of time, or if you know you're one of the folks that did too much of that, I'm going to suggest that you go back and look at that storytelling video, because you get a really nice formula for a 1 minute video in the storytelling video. Judy, or any of the
Yeah.
Any other panelists want to give general comments?
Sure, I'll jump in real quick. I do want to highlight Matthew's pitch for Grocery Advisor. I think this was a really strong example of a great pitch. Matthew, you did a really great job. You hit all the key elements that we want to hear in a pitch. And I really like the format. We recommend, something we touched on when we talked about prepping for this was asking questions to engage your audience. Questions that are, yeah, it's a call to action. So we recommend asking questions as you go, and having a thread of call to action throughout the pitch is super helpful to engage with the audience. I have a comment for Frontline. It's a really big ask, 1.2 million. I don't know how far along you are, if you're pitching to venture firms. Once you get into the $1 million range, you're no longer pitching to angel groups, you're pitching to more of a venture firm type format. So if that's where you're going, that's great. If you are wanting to raise funding with angels, I would recommend breaking down the funding a little bit. Maybe, starting at 500,000, 500K. And then if it snowballs and if you get all the funding in, then you can say to your investors, we're raising 500, we've already raised 200. And once you've hit 500, you can keep going to investors and say, okay, we've raised 5, we want to raise 750. So I've seen that as a strategy to move forward, but 1.2 mil at the door is a very high ask. I would recommend breaking it down into smaller chunks if that's possible. Something we haven't really touched on a lot, but I think we may have touched on a prior session. We do recommend, to be fair, I mean, it is what it is. You need to fundraise to have enough runway for 12 to 18 months. You don't want to keep going back to angels every 3 months. It's distracting on the business. It's a lot of work, a lot of effort. So if the 1.2, if it is what it is, great. But in a 20-second elevator pitch, asking for that much of an amount with not a lot of information is probably going to be a deterrent. If I have to be, I'm just being super candid, but they're going to want a bit more backup, a bit more info, and a bit more of an idea on what the strategy is.
Yeah, and the other thing that I'll tack on to Judy's comment is, if this is your first round, your valuation's going to be much lower. So you're going to be giving up a much larger percentage of your company in these early rounds than you will in the future rounds for the same amount of money, assuming that you do well. So only ask for exactly what you need to kind of get through that 9 to 15 month cycle, and so that you don't have, so that you can make progress, and then in your next tranche, your valuation is higher and you're not giving away as much of your company when you have to ask for the bigger amounts later on.
So, and to your point, Jeff, the more traction you can showcase, the more you can bootstrap, sit tight, get more traction. Traction can be a number of things. It can be you're starting to generate some revenue. You've got some recurring, monthly recurring revenue. Maybe you filed a patent and you own an amazing patent and you've completed the whole application, and that process has been finalized. That creates a lot of value in the company. So all these are elements of traction. The more traction you have, the better the valuation you can get. So that's key. That's important. I also had some feedback for Temple. Temple, I think one of the issues here, I know exactly what you're talking about this driving service. It's extremely popular in Europe. So I think maybe alluding to I think that the big one that's just has a huge monopoly in France is called BlaBlaCar, but maybe highlighting how well, because it's not known here in the US, explaining how well they're doing, how much funding they've raised, and talking about the market and the monopoly there could be very engaging. And I think, okay, even before going into those details up front, what I wrote is that maybe asking a question to better explain the problem and the solution. The problem being, have you ever needed to get from point A to point B, but Uber is not a financially viable option? That could be the question, right? That's the problem, right? I'm trying to get from San Francisco to LA. Uber is going to cost me an arm and a leg. I don't want to rent a car. It's a one-way trip. If I can share a car with someone, it's a great deal and it's an awesome service. So Tanful, I love what you're doing. It's definitely been validated in many countries. And I think rather than, I understand why you're comparing it and doing the analogy with Airbnb, but maybe that time to explain the analogy, because everyone knows Airbnb. But then I think it could be beneficial to highlight how well that service is working in Europe. And so I think that's, I think it's great that you're tapping into that because it's definitely been a proven model elsewhere overseas. And I think that's it for me for now.
Misty or any of the other judges?
Well, I'll just say, Tanful, Rui, I didn't get how you were different from ride hailing. And so spending a little bit more time explaining that, I mean, everybody understands the Airbnb thing, but I didn't get the distinction that Judy was describing, not at all. So yeah, you can work on it to make it clearer for the uninitiated who haven't been on BlaBlaCar.
And BlaBlaCar is a great service. I've used it actually many times and I love it. But yeah, just explaining the problem. That's why we say that's a way to engage the audience, right? It's always a good idea to say, have you ever, and then explain what the problem is. And most people will go, oh my gosh, yeah, I've totally been stuck in that situation. And then you've connected with the audience. So that's just a little kind of tip to help you better engage and better explain what the problem is that you're trying to solve.
Thanks, Judy. Deirdre, did you have anything to add for our pitchers tonight?
I do. Can you hear me?
We do.
Oh, great. So I've actually attended all of the pitch meetings, and I've listened to several of you pitch several times. So I wanted to say you've all done a great job in improving your pitches over time. A couple of points of feedback from me. I find it more intriguing when I can understand very quickly and easily what your product is or what your service is, and that sometimes gets lost. It would be great to make sure that you announce your company or your product right at the beginning. Sometimes that's forgotten a few times. And then I know Jeff's mentioned it, but not talking so much about the problem, talking a little bit more about the solution is very useful for me. And anytime you have that question that, like Judy mentions, where it pulls me in and makes me want to learn more, I love those pitches. So great job for those of you that have pitched multiple times. I can see the improvement.
I would second that. I mean, just in the way that you guys are hitting your timing marks, it's a huge improvement.
Yeah, I think the first couple of times, 2/3 of the people got cut off at the minute. And tonight, a few of you, even the ones that didn't quite make it, you could tell you were very close to the end. So good job. I mean, everybody's improved a lot.
And I've posted the voting form in the chat, so please do check on the chat. We're asking you to vote for no more than 3 companies that you would like to hear from. The judges will vote on the judges form and the attendees will vote on the participants form. And please go ahead and do that, Nat. I'll post it one more time.
All right. So while Maggie's posting it one more time, Bill, do you have any feedback or comments?
Yeah, overall, you nailed it already with the market and the biz, pretty much the biz model being left out or unclear. Also, I would emphasize delivery tone. You know, how you deliver it also catches people's attention. If it doesn't come across as enthusiastic and or, you know, at least sounds like it's something interesting, they're going to start fading away somewhere else. And then I think one of you did a pretty good job at the end with a hook that gets people to remember. I think it was Matthew Brill, if I recall correctly. So that was pretty good.
That's Grocery Advisor. What do you remember? What's the hook?
It was the tone, I guess, that he, you know, I've been sitting here listening to so many of them. That was 4 or 5 ago. I couldn't write it down fast enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, do you have any other?
Well, let's see if any of the rest of the panel has anything to add.
You know, Raj had a hard time hearing Marta with Safe Arbor. Raj, did you have any questions you wanted to pose directly? Oh, Raj has left the building.
All right, so at least we got his comments in. And for those of you who weren't aware, Bill Slickerveer is one of my partners in FundNV. So we hear a lot of pitches from companies wanting to get into the Accelerator program and from the Accelerator companies wanting a $50,000 investment that we provide to the majority of the companies that come through the program. Not all the companies, but the majority of them. All right, so how are we doing on voting?
AJ is asking, what's the name of Manny's business? That's Sherman Industries. Also, Nick was asking.
Okay. Are we?
I haven't looked at the poll. Let me look and see what kind of.
See whether or not we've
Oh, we've had 26 responses. Okay, now let's see. Can you get to the responses?
How do I get to the responses?
You have to be you have to be in the form, which I think I shared with you. I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't. Judy, can you get to the responses? Because I know I shared the form with you.
Is it in my chat?
No.
Yeah, okay. I just closed out, but let me get back into it real quick.
And then you can share the screen and share the information with us.
Is it in my email?
I did not share it with you.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Raj is still here?
Yeah, the window guy.
Oh, okay, Raj. All right, so Raj, before we go to the results, Raj, did you have any questions directly of?
Mark West's company, Bill, is Innovum Technologies.
Innovum Technologies is Mark West. Okay, so Raj, I think I've asked you to unmute and I see you there. Did you have any specific questions that you wanted to ask?
Actually, I just wanted to share the comment that you kind of reiterated what Jeff said earlier, which is focus on those 5 things, which is technical solution, market opportunity, business model, team, investment opportunity. I think some were missing that. Some had a great pitch, but some were missing those components, while the others covered some of those components, but pitch was kind of fading in and out.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm looking.
Maggie, I'm sharing my screen.
Yes.
Yep, okay.
Okay, so so we're hearing from the judges first. Why don't we slide down to the participants first? Okay.
Well, Grocery Advisor
is clearly the winner tonight.
Grocery Advisor and Safe Arbor seem to have are in the top 2 or 3 from both the judges and the participants. So is there a way to either shrink down so we can see them both at the same time? Zoom out?
Let's see if I can do that.
It's probably your Zoom There we go. Now we can see them all at the same time.
Oh, excellent. Good job.
So it looks like we've got Grocery Advisor, Safe Harbor, Innovum. How did Novum do with the other group? Novum's got 9 plus
9
5.
judges and 5 participants.
So 16, or no, 14 for a Novum, if I can do my math.
Okay, so now I was putting people in this list because I couldn't tell if everybody had a 3-minute pitch. So let's just verify that Grocery Advisor does.
Frontline Displays has 6 and 2 is 8. That's not, I'm looking for.
Sorry, I'm pacing around with the baby. Yes, I have a 3-minute pitch for Grocery Advisor and slides.
Okay, do we get to see the baby too?
I'm sure I'll flash in front of the camera later.
Okay, and then Safe Harbor, you have a 3-minute pitch?
I think we've seen their 3-minute pitch before.
Yeah, she's ready to go. All right, and who is in third place?
Yeah, third place is a Novum.
In Novum, and that is Mark West? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a 3-minute pitch prepared, but I could work on it.
Okay, well, we expect slides in the 3-minute pitch, so you would have to be like one kind of wizard with the slides in order to get that done.
Yeah, I understood. How much time do I have? Because I do have stuff available. It's just not prepared for tonight.
All right.
Well, if we have you go third, then
Yeah.
you would have about,
Probably 10, 15 minutes.
yeah, 15 minutes or so. Is that good? All right, you go pull those slides. He's working like a madman. Okay.
All right, so why don't we go sort of, since he's third and going third, let's go for the first place first. So Grocery Advisor is the one that's going to get the free entry.
Cool. I'll sequester myself in the bedroom since the wife and other kid are playing. What are you playing?
Grocery Advisor first.
No, they're playing the game.
Then Safe Harbor, and then Innovum. So I'm going to get back to my timer.
Before you go, can we just ask, Misty, were you able to hear any of the pitches? It's probably not fair if you only heard a couple, but did you have any input on general pitching for the 1-minute pitch?
Just to confirm, you come a long way. Like the pitches that, like everybody's pitches, it's better every time we do it. So this is why we practice, and this environment's always great for that. People still spend too much time talking product, like tell me your company, and move towards your, your business model and your team piece, and don't be afraid to ask in groups like this. So, and asking can be way more than money, right? You can ask for other resources, and never miss an opportunity to say, hey, I'm looking for somebody in particular who can help me with an introduction, or can help me with figuring out how to solve a particular kind of problem. But overall, good. It's improving.
I agree. And that's good because it's almost time to apply to the Angels. So it's good to be ready. I only look up at people. Hello? You don't get to see the top of my head.
Oh, Matthew, he's showing us the baby.
Yay.
Yay. All right, so Matthew, I've promoted you to a panelist so that you can share your slides. I'm not sure that happens as an attendee. So you are a panelist now, and Marta, you're a panelist. And Mark, let me get you. Christophe says, Mark, I'm going to promote you as well. MW, where'd it go?
And I'm going to ask, since if I share my screen, you will not be able to share your slides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the timer at 3 minutes. When you start chatting, I will you'll hear me just say 1 minute when you get to 1 minute, and then 15 when you get to 15 seconds. So you'll hear three things from, well, you'll hear two things from me. One, when you get to a minute, 15 when you get to 15 seconds, so that you know your end is coming up. And then Maggie will cut you off at the end. And then we'll give you feedback. So.
Not quite ready right now.
Almost ready. So whenever you're ready, Grocery Advisor, please begin.
Okay, sorry, I was trying to figure out the Zoom thing here. Okay, and then.
You can see your slides.
Okay, good, progress. Whoops, and I just closed theirs. Oh man.
There you go.
I don't have enough real estate here. I can't get my my notes up with the slides at the same time. Okay, well, good enough. All right, I guess you can go ahead and start. So, hi everyone. Let's talk about food. What's your favorite thing to eat? Would you eat it all day, every day? Why or why not? Do you worry about your waistline? Did you run out of wood chips for your smoking cloche? Don't feel like cleaning your air fryer? Well, for many, the concerns are much more mundane. I'm tired. I don't have the time. My ingredients spoiled. I don't want to go to the store, or even I can't afford it. I'm trying to balance between these notes here. Anyway, hi, I'm Matthew Brill. Today I'm here to talk about Grocery Advisor, a beta web mobile application that guides your meals from thought to table in one app. And I'm reading ahead too. Grocery Advisor was born from that deeply philosophical question, what do you want to eat? That one simple question leads us down the all too familiar rabbit hole. What sounds good? Is this a good price? Don't I have this at home? Where did I put that recipe that I liked? Grocery Advisor is here to tear down the walls of the dreaded what, where, how, and whens of mealtime. Think about your average day. Think of your friends, hobbies, that pile of dust on the windowsill. Now think about cooking. What's for dinner? Do you have the ingredients? How long do you bake a potato? What can you substitute for haricot vert? That average time spent on a meal is 2 hours and 8 minutes. Do you have the time? Grocery Advisor streamlines the whole process. We suggest meals based on your preferences, help you make shopping lists with instant price comparisons at stores near you, track what's at home and how long it's been there, quickly build meal plans that make the most of your food and helps you juggle it all effortlessly. Are you short on time? Order your pickup online or have your groceries delivered without ever leaving the app. Forgetful? We'll help you stay on top of what and when things need to get done. There's a lot to keep track of and a lot of efficiencies to be realized. That's where Grocery Advisor comes in. We're your personal food advisor. We think that we're in the right place at the right time. Even ignoring COVID-19 related gains, online grocery sales have been increasing annually as busy consumers adopt online retail. The average grocer spends 3% on customer acquisition, so our monetization plan is simple, a 1% referral fee for purchases made from our high quality, high intent leads. Delivery referrals can bring in an additional $467,000 annually on top of the $3.34 million. Another $132,000 in annual coupon delivery fees can be collected at that same 1% market share. And this is just the beginning. We want Grocery Advisor to be the Google of food. Groceries are a small margin business, and our tech will help grocers streamline everything from inventory through online sales, helping the Wincos, grocery outlets, and mom and pops compete against the tech powerhouses of the online grocery world, such as Walmart and Amazon. Just imagine your local mom and pop backed by AI-powered predictive variable product prices competitively driving their sales while drastically lowering spoilage. Grocery Advisor has plenty of competitors. I'm up to 50 so far. We're uniquely situated in that we aim to condense multiple services into one seamless application. No competitor can touch us due to our all-in from the start approach. For them to pivot to such a stance requires large amounts of time and money. I've been at the development thing professionally for 20 years. My co-founder here, Ray, has been at startup business for 10 years.
Yep, that's time.
That's time. And good job for getting your ask slide up, even though you ran out of time.
Misty, do you want to go first?
Oops.
Sure, happy to go first. So I think you had, I didn't time it. I'm going to guess 1.5 minutes on problem, and it could have been simplified to this. Grocery Advisor lets you solve the what's for dinner problem, right? We all know that one. There's a whole huge amount of script that's in behind that. Can you pull your slides back up? So you spent a lot of time talking about a problem that we all intuitively get, and it took up so much time that I still don't get how it works. So I think that you do somehow you get a referral fee from a grocer, but I don't get, it's like the equivalent of putting my phone number in on the keypad, and it somehow does, like, I don't know how it works. So I missed the big important part, which is the business model and how the actual product works. The team, for what few seconds we got on the team slide, that was good. Your slides actually are really sharp. They're nice and clean and fresh. Can you go back to your competition slide? This is a really smart slide. So, and what you said here was there are more than 50 competitors, which tells me there's high demand in the market. There's not an outright market owner yet. And that this is a fast growing industry that is going to be consolidated in the next few years, right? So as an investor, I hear those things. As an investor who's looked at a boatload of deals, I hear those things. If you want a novice investor to get it, you kind of need to give them that information a little bit. You need to clean that up a little bit, and just like maybe another sentence or two on that would have helped an earlier stage investor be able to make the jump a lot faster. So those are a couple of early things. I'm sure everybody else has got some stuff too, but overall it's a pretty good job.
Thank you. Sorry, what was the last one that you said about the early investors?
It's just helpful for early investors if you can walk them into it, right? When you say, like you're competitive in this space and there are 50, I immediately understand what that means. It means a whole bunch of things. It's a crowded marketplace. It's a really early marketplace. I don't see, like, your slide here doesn't tell me all the things that I want it to, but restrictive versus inclusive is a measure of quality, I think. And then a unified versus a fractured UX. You said something else about like how you're combining 7 different things into one, right? So I think that speaks to that, which is also a measure of quality. So you got 2 quality measures, but I don't hear a speed measure or a price measure. So it's usually competition is usually a combination of those 3. And this is a great format, especially if you can populate it with who your competitors are and where people actually fall out. Some set of metrics that you give it.
Yeah. Thanks, Misty.
Matthew, this is
thank you.
Matthew, this is Bill. Could you pull up your market slide? Okay, so I looked at this and I said, okay, this tells me a lot about the grocery business, but what about the business that you're trying to sell to people via your app? It didn't connect for me. There's something missing here in terms of why 104 million households. Yeah, there's 104 million of them, but how are you getting that down into your business model? Wasn't clear to me.
And just on that slide too, we want to see that in dollars, right? And we want the dollars to be relatable to you. So there's some connection point here that I'm missing, and part of it is because you're making me work out, like, so there's 104 million households with smartphones. What does that come up to as a price tag? Like I can't wrap my head around a dollar sign there. I don't know enough about the industry.
What's your next slide, Matthew?
Right. Thank you.
Maggie asked what your next slide is.
Yeah, now he went to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of the information you have here actually belongs on your market slide.
Exactly. That's what, Maggie, you nailed it. Yeah, your market slide is this slide.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've always seen them as like the market is the people that we're trying to get the Tam Sam Sam stuff, and the business model is how is this being monetized, sort of thing. So do they have like some overlaps? How much do they overlap then, I guess?
Well, this doesn't tell me how this gets monetized.
No.
So this doesn't tell me like how, like if you're going to get a 1% fee on whatever that magic number is, it doesn't tell me how you put potential consumers into a pipeline. And
okay. Oh, so this is what you had started with earlier too, right? So what's the connection between people shopping and our app? How do we get the money from the grocers by people shopping through us?
Yeah, you should think of your customers as different from the market as a whole. So when we talk to the market side, we're talking about how big is this industry that you're trying to penetrate. It's nice to know what your customer persona is, but we don't care about that nearly as much as what the potential for the market is and how you're planning to attack it. So the total addressable market is like all of grocery sales in the whole wide world. Okay, and then your SAM is where you're starting first, and then your SOM is the percentage that you're expecting to penetrate in a certain period of time. So in 2 years, you think you can get X percentage of the market, and that equates to X dollars. So that's market. Business model is, okay, we're charging 1%, and who's paying the 1%? Is it your customer or is it your vendors? That's business model.
All right. Then,
perfect. Thank you. Sorry, I'm typing all this up. Thanks.
Fine. No, and I think my feedback's going to be a repeat of what everybody else's is. So for the sake of time, I will hold my comments.
That's a lovely slide, though. I really like it.
Your slides look great. They really do.
Oh, thank you.
And your presentation is very good as well. It's relaxed.
Thank you.
It's a little funny.
I don't feel relaxed.
So good job.
I actually did look at the time. You spent 1 minute and 20 seconds on the problem.
Whoa. All righty. See, and that's the hardest thing I've had, because I took these slides from 30 because I had another presentation elsewhere before for a half-hour thing, and I brought it down into 3. So I've been really having a hard time trying to cut out a lot of the verbiage I had in there. So
yeah, that's the trick.
But it's nice to know what to attack now. That's going to help me out a ton. Thank you very much.
Right, and you will be asked to deliver many more 3 to 5 minute pitches than you will deliver half-hour pitches. Half-hour pitches are rare. Most of them are 3 to 5 minutes.
Bill?
Yeah, you had me at 30 seconds. I knew exactly where you were going, but then I was literally salivating for market and business model, and that's where it fell off the table for me.
Yep. I totally understand now. That makes so much sense. Thank you all for the feedback.
Yeah, I think we almost all of us understood what you did or the basics of it before you even pitched with your name.
Perfect.
So yeah, I think you can spend a lot less time on the problem. You're clever. You have a good delivery. So there's room for improvement there. All right, does anybody else have anything they have to put out there, or shall we move on?
Yeah, Jeff, just one question real quick.
Yeah.
I was wondering, Matt, so you spoke a little bit about in terms like a B2B or a B2C model. I think you spoke about both, but is that the intention here for you to go both ways? Do you understand what I'm asking?
Sorry, I just can't get the mute button to pop up half the time. Yes, so the market, like the people, boy, yeah, I'm not really sure how to explain that. Okay, so it's going to be consumers using the app, but it's going to be marketed towards businesses. So there's 38% of grocers in the US don't have any plans for online grocery sales at all, because they just can't afford it. You can expect to just put $2 million or more a year into just running a mobile application for your online grocery sales. So mom and pop down the street, they can't come anywhere near affording that. And then even the other big grocers like the Albertsons Corporation, they spend a lot of money on online grocery stuff, but even they've gone towards using a white labeled service. It's actually the same one that Safeway uses and a bunch of other grocers around. And those guys don't have near the sort of capabilities that Amazon and Walmart do. Those guys, Walmart's close behind Amazon. Amazon, of course, they're way ahead of everybody, but Walmart's got a whole office down, I think it's Georgia somewhere, and 1,000 people working just on online sales. So what we want to do is try and build up the same capabilities to keep pace with these market leaders, but then offer it at a very reduced rate to the businesses to try and get the information into the app to build up our AI ML stuff to get the users involved and build that core user base that's going to translate hopefully into more sales for the grocers that are partnered with us, that are using our white labeled online grocery platform services, or that have made partnerships with us for referral programs or whatnot. So then the idea is that the users go on there, they have what's in their pantry, they got their recipes, they're sharing stuff with their family, building all the stuff up. They can find where the groceries are at near them, how to get to the stores, how to get around inside the stores, where things are at. They can make their orders online in advance for places like Walmart or Raley's Safeway that do, order online and pick up your groceries. They can have them delivered. We can partner up with Instagram or anyone else that does that stuff. And then once people actually go and they say, okay, yep, I want to buy everything in my shopping list here, and I'm going to buy it from Safeway or Walmart, whoever, then they pay through our app. The order goes out to Walmart. Walmart collects everything for them, whatever it is. We could even go as far as say, like, we generate a QR code that the customer goes, grabs all their stuff in the store, then scans it at the register and then just walks out because they've already paid. So it's that moment when the user converts from shopper to actually purchasing things, that 1% fee is what we're going to take from their total grocery bill. And then we're justifying that because most grocers, they spend 3% on advertising to try and get these users in. So we're kind of replacing some of the grocers' marketing capabilities with our own services here. And then the inline advertisements, that's something, the users, as they click through, we get passive income from views or clicks and ads. We can offer our own advertisements inside the platform to grocers. We want to set up like an automated competitive marketplace. So you could think like Amazon, anyone can pop on and sell, and they can adjust their prices programmatically for the products. So we want to put together that AI bit there to track what the other grocers are doing, track the demand of the products, track the grocer's inventory inside an individual store. And then you can say, oh, hey, apples are going to be expiring soon. So we're going to go ahead and automatically put a 10% discount on those for anybody that's coming in to purchase. And then that's going to pop up in the grocery on the comparison shopping list there to say, hey, you're going to spend $50 over here, but did you know Safeway right now has 10% off? So yeah.
All right, Matthew.
Sorry, no, I could go on about this all day long. Yeah.
Yeah. We
So
can tell.
I told you, the half-hour slide was a lot easier than 3-minute slide.
Yeah. All right. So I think we're gonna move on. Great job, Matthew. And we will give you the hall pass for the application fee through Gust. So look for an invitation from Gust to apply to AngelNV, and you'll bypass the $29 fee. All
awesome.
Right.
Thank you.
So Safe Harbor.
She's getting ready.
But get a little closer to the microphone this time, Marta, so that we can.
Because you were talking really fast last time.
Yeah, it's trying to get it all in. I'm sorry. Can you guys see our screen?
We can, and we can hear you much better this time.
All right, great. And also Lindsay's here. Come in.
Hey,
all
Lindsay.
right. So we're a Safe Harbor. We're adapting the technology that's available in mass retail to cannabis specific industry, and that requires extreme credentialing and securities. In the US, the cannabis market is going to be projected to be 31 billion by 2025. We've worked out our TAM, SAM, and SOM. Here, you can see that we're looking to address a $387 million market in the next 5 years.
Yeah, so what we're looking at in terms of problems, like here's what we get at. Dispensary customers, especially in terms of COVID, are basically standing in line. They are waiting, they are coughing on each other. They do not want to have extended wait times. They don't want to have to spend 45 minutes to get their product. Dispensary operators, in terms of distribution, do not want to have hours-long wait time in terms of dropping off wholesale product. So what we are trying to do is solve for both things.
We're launching in dispensaries at retail, and we're providing a contactless automation solution to pre-order into the dispensary marketplace. This is a lot like what you see at Amazon or at Starbucks meets Amazon. So we make lockers and we provide a pre-order integration to e-commerce. In distribution, this is a security feature that's like Brinks versus Postmates. It provides a platform for wholesale distribution.
Just scroll. Yeah. Okay, so what it looks like, it's basically an Amazon locker that you'd see outside of a 7-Eleven or a Whole Foods. What this does is for pre-order pickup. This is for customers that want product that have already ordered it online, and they go and they pick it up with under 2 minutes. So they don't have to wait for 20 minutes in a line. It's essentially automating the process of customer pickup, and we're completely compliant because what we're doing is only solving part of the puzzle instead of the entire puzzle.
We have configurable hardware that works for the dispensary marketplace, either on the retail floor inside of a dispensary or in certain states based on compliance regulations. Here in Nevada, cannabis operators are allowed to have drive-through. And so we have a configuration for an exterior in-wall build. Here's our ROI. Our goal is to eliminate the cost or reduce the costs around providing continual customer serviceability, especially in the time of crisis.
Yeah, what we do is we save operators time and money. We save them employee time and we make more money for them. So let's scroll through and keep going. In terms of the competitive landscape, there's no one else out there. There's vending machines, but they really haven't gone through the compliance checklist that we have. We're the only ones that are only solving part of that puzzle.
30 seconds.
Okay.
And importantly, we're not competing with major carriers like Amazon or FedEx because there's a mutual disexclusivity for cannabis and major carriers because of their TOT licensure. So we have a 5-year window to gain market entry and prove traction before acquisition.
But the most important thing, even scrolling past this, is to get into the game in terms of what we can build. Scroll past team and let's see it. It's in terms of what.
Okay, might as well flip to the last slide.
Yeah. The ask.
Is your ask slide last? Okay. You can unmute again so we can talk with you.
This is our ask. We're raising 1.5 in seed. Right now, we're taking our last angels. We need 300K to successfully launch our pilots before the end of 2020.
From that point, we can roll.
Okay, the pitch is over. Time for feedback.
All right. So,
Jeff, you were taking notes?
Well, I don't want to, because I do most of the talking here, so I want to give some
All right,
of our
then
other.
we'll start with Judy.
Judy, and then Bill, and then we'll go to Misty.
Yeah, no, I love what you're doing. I'm gonna just focus a little bit on presentation style. I would recommend never scrolling through slides when you're presenting. Being able to click through is much smoother. It's much easier. So that's just a little, presentation tip. Also, going back and forth between two co-founders, I've never been a big fan of that. I think it's distracting. And I know co-founders ask those questions all the time, whether they should pitch together, or just one person be the voice so that it's, smooth without the transitions. Going back and forth is a little bit disruptive, I think, from just a presentation style. Maybe you can break it down into just bigger chunks so it's not going back and forth. Just something to think about to make it smoother and easier and less bumpy. But otherwise, I'll let Misty and Jeff jump in, but I love what you're doing. It's a phenomenal, this is great. This is gonna be big.
All right, Bill, do you want to go next, and then Misty, and then I'll wrap it up?
Yeah.
Anybody else can jump in?
Yeah, my comments pretty much, the presentation was distracting. I'll just leave it at that, so look to make it flow better. The comments given pretty much nailed that already. The other thing that I was trying to get out of what you were presenting is that this is pretty much a hardware software solution, correct?
Unmute.
Yeah, our business model is an upfront hardware sale with recurring revenue via a subscription model that is service and maintenance, similar to your phone plan where you buy the hardware and pay a monthly service charge. We have a rev share with our integration partners, which is how we integrate to point of sale or payment processing.
Okay.
That was a business model right there. That's what I wanted to hear in the pitch. What you just said, that's important.
Okay.
Yep.
That would have answered a lot of questions for me. Sorry, Bill, I didn't mean to jump in.
You nailed where I was going with it. That was it right there. And then the other thing I would say about, again, a presentation issue is cut back on the verbiage, because people are trying to read your slides and then they're not listening to you. And that's what I was doing. I was trying to connect what you were saying to what was on the slide. I just stopped listening after a while, or I didn't stop listening. I just couldn't connect anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Misty?
Yeah, I'm going to do a couple of things. All right. So first, hang on. I'm going to shut my, let's see if I can shut my background off and share a couple of things. It looks like this environment's not going away. We're going to be here for a while presenting in these kinds of formats. So it's probably time to make some investments. This little light here, have one of these like handy dandy little lights. They're like $40. Put it on your Amazon watch list, and they're on sale about twice a week. So you can get them for about half off. And then like a decent headset, right? I don't always use them, but this makes a huge difference. So I heard everybody say like, you're gonna have to really speak up. Like I heard that, like I didn't get to hear your first pitch, but it wasn't, I don't know if it was better, but it wasn't good from where I was sitting. So
we could hear Marta, we could not hear Lindsay.
Okay.
So even these like crappy little plug-in things work better. Again, this is like a Logitech one, and I spent like $30 on it. Actually, I got it as a speaker gift. So just for anybody who's bringing in speakers, it was a cool little speaker gift for being on somebody's podcast. So just a couple of things like that. You spent so much time like sort of trying to talk about how it worked. I started to think like, well, maybe I don't get how it works, and maybe you think I'm super dumb, or like, it was like, I love the use of metaphors like that. This is Amazon meets whatever you said. That was perfect. Totally drew the connection for me. I was able to grab it from there. But I didn't need it like 42 ways. I really, that piece that when Bill asked you the question and you laid out what the business model was, that was really interesting to me. And when you went like, oh, we're just going to skip the team slide. No, like I'm betting on entrepreneurs and founders. I'm almost never betting on product. I'm betting on market opportunities and business models, and definitely on founders. So I want to hear what you have to say about your team, because you're sort of where the magic is. So I feel like I missed those opportunities. If you think about like, and I always say this, and if you think like, I'm always thinking about technical solution and the problem market fit, like the product market fit, and what the market opportunity is as it relates specifically to you, which should lead naturally to what the business model looks like. How does the thing make money? Like, and if I invest money, how does that decrease the amount of time it takes you to make a sale, or increase the margin on the product, like whatever it is. And then the team, and of course the ask. So those are the things that I'm listening for.
Thanks, Misty. You're on mute, Marta.
I was just saying thank you for that feedback, Misty. That's really helpful. We want to remake our deck again.
And Marta,
Deck's not terrible. It's a fine deck. I like the colors and everything. So
it was a little wordy from my perspective for a presentation where you're actually speaking to people versus a deck that you're sending to people.
Yeah, that's really our sending out email deck, or it's our latest sort of investor send deck, and we really need to make one that's geared for presentation.
Yeah, it's just it's more picture oriented.
Exactly.
So the people are, like Bill said, people are listening to you. I really like what you're doing. I just wish it was presented a little bit better, because I wanted to go well beyond our 1 minute and 3 minute pitches into many other places. So I think I don't have anything new to add to what others have said, other than I'm rooting for you. And
I think that we all agree that the business concept is amazing. It's super compelling. You're obviously it's an industry that's thriving, growing. It's not going away. So you're definitely onto something. Summary of as far as working on those slides. please feel free to reach out to me. I can connect you with a graphic design intern, super inexpensive, and she's worked wonders with slides, like creating icons instead of all the verbiage, funky, cool. It's a pretty modern concept what you're doing. I think what's lacking maybe is your slides should be as modern and hip and contemporary as what it is that you're doing. So maybe, upgrading on that. I'd be happy to connect you with our intern. She charges, whatever it is, $15 an hour and works miracles. So
thank you so much. Well, thank you so much, Judy. And I wanted to say we just relaunched our website about 2 days ago. And so our deck hasn't caught up to that. But we're really happy with our new website. It's safeharbor.io. It's just a starting place, but that's sort of the look and feel we're going for. We need to update our investor materials to reflect that aesthetic.
Perfect. Okay, cool. You're on it.
Excellent. Okay, thanks very much. Awesome. Now, we're down to our last presenter. So hopefully, Mark's managed to collect his slides so that he can make a good solid 3-minute pitch.
Yeah.
So Judy's answered the general question if that intern is available for everybody. So Judy, you're going to have to either put your email in there that people can reach out to you, or
I will
put the intern's info there.
Yeah.
And there's a few others that are in Nevada. I don't know if they work for $15 an hour, but there's a few others in the online marketplace that'll help with that work as well. So, Mark, whenever you are ready to begin,
okay,
I will count you down when you hit 1 minute, then when you hit 30 seconds, and again when you hit 15.
Very good. Good evening. My name is Mark West, and I'm here to introduce you to AngelNV, licensing made easy. It all started a couple of years ago when a group of gaming lawyers got together at a seminar, and they were talking about the challenges they have working for their clients. An energetic conversation ensued, and somebody said, "Isn't there a way we can make this paperwork-heavy, manually intensive process and use technology to make it easier?" My wife was one of the attorneys at that CLE. She knew that I worked in the pharmaceutical industry supporting new drug trials. And she asked if I could build something for gaming. I love to solve problems, but I didn't know anything about this industry. One of the first things I learned about this is that 80 to 90% of the information from jurisdiction to jurisdiction is the same. They want the same information, but they use their own forms, their own paper-based forms. And I learned something else that shocked me. There's a form called the Multi-Jurisdictional Personal History Disclosure Form. It starts at 66 pages before you begin to fill it out. By the time it's done, it might be 2 to 3 copier paper boxes full of information. What if you're licensed in 10 or 100 jurisdictions? The volume of paperwork is staggering. Then I found out about this guy. He has the honor, or perhaps bears the scars, of being licensed simultaneously in over 300 gaming jurisdictions. I was impressed and frankly amazed that he had the ability to accomplish that much in a paper-intensive process. I thought to myself about the similarities of what I'd done previously, and I had one of those aha moments. I knew I could build a system that would make life a lot easier for people like him. Now, we knew the system we had built would have to be highly secure. Our data would remain or contain highly sensitive personal information. I'm familiar with HIPAA and some of the other privacy models like PCI, but there isn't anything that dealt with this in the gaming industry. So we were breaking new ground here. We also knew that it had to be intuitive and easy to use and scalable and cost effective. A one-size-fits-all approach would never be successful in this industry.
1 minute left.
Okay. So, as I mentioned, let's talk about market opportunity. We've got $100 million per year in the gaming industry. We have growth opportunities in other industries, cannabis, financial industries, insurance, and others. Total addressable market is somewhere close to $1 billion a year. Competitive analysis, right now we have one serious competitor. Many have failed. The number of jurisdictions has been a historic barrier to entry, and our solution is designed to overcome this. We designed it with security in mind. Gaming's a global industry, and so we've built our system around that.
30.
We put a team together that has extensive experience in the gaming industry so that we knew we would be able to solve this problem. We aren't doing this alone. We are software as a service. We have no upfront model, no long-term commitment,
15.
Pay as you go. Corporate subscriptions, we can generate about $40,000 per year per client, and our service is sticky. We're looking for $250,000 for program in the jurisdictions in North America with 170.
Time's up.
Oh, Mark, you got close to it, but you didn't quite get to the end. Okay, let's bring him back on.
Yes.
Thank you.
Excellent. Mark, I'll start really quick and then pass it on to my colleagues to make their comments.
Yep.
I really wanted to know more. You spent so much time on the problem that I think we all got in like 15 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's complicated, lots of forms, boxes of paper, we get it.
Okay.
However long that took me to say, 10 seconds, you could have done it in that and moved on. And we would have heard a lot more about all those slides you went by so quick that I wanted to hear more about. I think that's my main comment is the people will understand what it is that you're trying to do. And, as a SaaS guy, I'm leaning forward. I'm thinking this is a disruptive thing in an industry that's seemingly modern, but those of us who live in Nevada know that it's not. And the one thing I didn't get from it was how many individual humans and companies actually have to pay or go through this process. I would have loved to have seen that somewhere in the mix, because you talk about how big the industry is, but how many participants have to actually go through this process and how often. That's a metric I would like to have seen in there somewhere. So I'll stop chatting and hand off to Misty's already off mute, and then Bill's off mute, and then we'll wrap it up with Judy and anybody else that wants to go.
Yeah, Mark, so I just say first that first piece that you shared, that first, until you got the first warning, that was like absolutely perfect for a 15-minute pitch, right? So if you think about like how you structure it down, and this is maybe a good exercise for everybody. If you practice your pitch backward and forward, like actually start with your ask slide and work the pitch backward. I'm not saying do this for a group, but as a method of practice, it's a good method of practice to go like, okay, so if I give myself 10 minutes and I've got this deck together and I know I can give it, I'm comfortable with it, can I work my way backward and time myself out so that I finish on, right? Because you're not getting to the most important pieces. And you did flash up the guy's photo, and I still don't know, like, I understand it's magical because he did some stuff, but I don't know what he did exactly. I just know that he has a lot of stuff moving and that he's value to you. Like there's some, like, I don't know, there's something there that's interesting. But I think that's where you got the first warning and you realized you still had, 8/10 of your stuff to go through. So, but it's a pretty darn good job for somebody who didn't have a 3-minute deck together, half an hour ago.
Well, as you picked up, it was a 15-minute deck that I was cutting.
Oh, there you go.
I just didn't cut nearly enough.
Yeah. So I'll leave it to some others.
Thank you.
Yeah, the part I was sort of like Jeff said that 10 seconds, I got it. And I was really, really trying to figure out your solution and how it was going to work. It's a web-based program. It's what, all that kind of stuff, which then ties it back into, how are you going to monetize that? What are you going to charge for it? What kind of margins do you think you're going to get out of it? Those are types of things that I think will fit inside of a 3-minute speech that an investor would want to hear. Can you bring up that one slide though? It was like a four square slide, had a lot of different colors on it.
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, there it is. So this tells me a lot, but the one thing when I looked at it, I said, okay, so this appears to be somewhere I saw hosted, but it was later on that I connected, okay, it's an online platform of some kind. But this was a great way to say, you know, okay, this is my solution is going to be a web-based platform, you know, that will allow me to monetize however you choose to say it, you know. But this caught my eye right away, and I was really interested from this point forward, trying to understand what it was going to do, but then connect it to the business model.
Understood.
Cool.
So Mark, one thing I noticed was your copyright numbers. It didn't show on our big screen, but on my little screen, your copyright goes 2015 to 2017. And it just makes me raise my eyebrows. Like, what have you been doing for the last 3 years?
It's a great point. Thank you. I'll make sure we update those.
Mark, did you have a financial forecast of any kind here, or like something that shows what the growth trajectory is, or the adoption mechanism?
A little bit. I had it. Let me just find it. I did have one together. Let's see.
So, and I think, you know, this is more Jeff's area than mine, but a common rule that we see a lot with software as a service is you want to see increase in recurring revenue to the tune of like triple, double on a monthly and on an annualized basis. Like that's if you can triple month after month and then double and then do that annually, that's sort of the growth mechanism we expect to see. I'm sure Jeff could talk, you know, days and days about this piece, but just as for everybody else, like I can't capture that from here. This doesn't give me enough information.
Yeah, it really more needs a chart, right? Like, would that be a picture rather than the words?
Yeah, if you want to see like a stacked graph of things, so you can see the numbers growing exponentially month after month. And that's what most B2B SaaS investors are looking for. They're looking for that in combination with a customer acquisition to lifetime value ratio of at least 4x, hopefully closer to 7 or 8x. If it starts to get above 7 or 8x, then people are wondering if you're counting things right.
And we expect the business model to sort of match that up, right? So maybe your CAC and LTV is like, this amount of investment gets us in front of these, you know, this particular industry association, you know, adopts at that point. And then once that happens, then we open this new country. And, you know, like there's got to be some method that helps us understand, you know, how you hit those numbers too.
Right. So I had, you know, put this at the tail and I didn't get there, but I was trying to show that. And I agree, or at least if I understand it, putting this into graphical format would make it more impactful, and then being able to have 20 seconds to talk to it would actually deliver the message.
Yep.
That is a very good thought for everybody who's still listening. Pictures, graphics, and then your words explain what's on the screen. We don't want to read. When people are reading, they're not listening.
Right. And that's why there's two different decks. One for what you send to somebody when they say, send me your deck, and you know you're not going to present it, and then one to actually present. So it's more work, but you signed up for that when you decided to found a startup.
And if we're pitching in the virtual environment, back to our first one on Grocery Advisor, you know, there was oh, I can't see my notes, right? Like, so doing the, you know, minimum backup, like having a printed copy of your slide notes, or testing that in, you know, in a Zoom call with your spouse or whatever. Like those are all good ways to test out how the equipment works.
Yeah, doing this stuff in Zoom, in that particular brand, which seems to be dominating the market, none of us should have any issue on it at this point. After 9 months of doing this, it should be second nature to us. And if it's not, practice, baby. You can get a free Zoom account. You only get 40 minutes, but you can get a free Zoom account.
Yeah, but having your logistics is something. And of course, you know, you were pitching tonight. You didn't know if you were going to get to the 3-minute round, but our power went out at home and we had no internet. So we had to get here, and it's like, okay, we're going to need extra screens. We have to figure out how we can do the stuff that we need to do to manage this. And it's just really a question of being prepared.
All right, Judy, do you have anything to add?
No, I think you guys nailed it. Too much time on the problem, clarifying the solution. Those are definitely the key takeaways for me. Yeah.
That seems to be the theme tonight. Too much time on the problem, not enough on the business. And I don't know, we've seen over 500 pitches over the last 3 years, and it's a very, very consistent problem. So, so I will, then I'm going to kind of bring us in for a landing. Thank you to all of our presenters and for everybody attending tonight, and especially to our judges and panelists who gave up their evening to be here with us and offer feedback. Thanks very much. And to Grocery Advisor, you guys will get an invitation from Gust to sign up for AngelNV. And I hope a lot of you do. I mean, a lot of you guys, I think, would make great considerations for the angels who are going to be considering who's going to win $200,000. And we are following the model that Judy and Mysty pioneered in San Luis Obispo and San Diego. And especially in San Diego, when those angels get to that last day, they like more than one company and often invest in more than one company. And while the angel group is only obligated to invest in one, I mean, I got to tell you, if I was faced with trying to pick between the 3 finalists we had tonight as an angel, I would have a hard time. I mean, given enough time to kind of polish the slides and figure it out, all 3 of those were really interesting business propositions that would get serious angel consideration, I think. So that's why the angels have a hard time figuring out, well, how am I supposed to pick between those 3? They're all good. So so please apply, and hopefully we'll see you get past the initial rounds and into the pitches with the angels. So next week, not next week, but on the 1st of December, we have our last session on valuation and pitch terms and those kinds of things, so that you can get a proper grounding in that. Thanks again, everybody, for coming out. I'm going to look around. I'm going to look over at Maggie and see, have I missed anything in wrapping up here?
No, you were just gonna. We're going to ask Judy to talk just a minute about Josh Gaffon and what he's going to talk about on December 1st. Is it?
December 1st.
2 weeks from tonight.
Yep.
So yeah, Josh is a corporate and securities attorney. He's been practicing for 25 plus years. He's with Fenwick, a very reputable law firm with headquarters in Silicon Valley, in Palo Alto. He's based out of the Santa Barbara office. I've been working with Josh for over 5 years. He's very talented, explains things really, really well. And so he's going to be talking about deal terms. How do you negotiate your deal terms? What's a safe doc? What's a convertible promissory note? And also looking a little bit, we'll touch on valuations and cap tables, but mostly these investment vehicles, how are they set up? What are the meaningful terms in there? And what is it that you can negotiate? What are the adequate ranges within which you can negotiate? So don't miss it, December 1st. Josh is a wonderful speaker, and looking forward to seeing everyone there.
Thanks, Judy. And I can't wait to see Josh. We hear lots and lots of different pieces of advice on all of these topics. And that's another thing that founders have to wrangle with, is getting lots and lots of advice that's not exactly the same from many different sources, but getting all of those pieces of information is going to help you figure out what the best road is for you. So we can't wait to see you guys there on the 1st. And I'll be in Vegas for that one. So we will be having a small contingent of people in our Vegas office downtown. So if you're interested in coming downtown, sign up for the in-person. Masked or not, we'll get to see each other. Those of you who want to come out that night, we'll get to see you in person. And again, I thank our judges and our panelists for coming out tonight. Thanks everybody for being brave enough to pitch. And thanks for sticking with us to the end. Thanks again. We will see you on the 1st.